Hey, it's your girl, Leslie D. And I am so excited to come talk to you, family. It has been, I think, maybe 2 weeks since I've talked to you because I was dealing with some warfare with this here computer and just making sure things were straight. And then my mini had surgery. And so we are back in effect, and I have missed you so much. And as we are getting ready to close this year out, I wanted to talk to you about the things that 2018 has taught me. And the first thing that 2018 has taught me is focus on your wins and your wants. Because when you focus on something, I need you to know that that's what expands. Because what you focus on expands. I need you to take inventory on what you're focused on and where you're focusing. Like, where are you putting your focus? Because when I focused on not having and needing a win and what could happen and all of those things in 2017, when I was in that dark place, that produced nothing but more fear, more drama, more woe is me. But when I began focusing on what I wanted and the wins that were happening in my life, this year I have manifested direction, solutions, increased my faith, and more wins that I ever could think possible. And not the major wins where it's like fallout, oh my goodness, it couldn't have been nothing but God focus, but the power of knowing that I can do all things and that life changes when you focus on what you want to expand. Because the word says in Proverbs 23:7 that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So what you focus on will be. So shift your focus and increase your faith and win. For number two, what 2018 has taught me is that empathy breeds change. That's right. Empathy breeds change. Empathy means to have the ability to understand and share the feeling of another. As a single mom and an entrepreneur with a team in 2018, it's a whole lot of things going on. You hear me? And spouses mess up, teens will try you, clients go through, and the list goes on and on and on. However, I hear that my clients tell me all the time that I am the person that snatches all their edges out and I be getting them all the way together, which is good and necessary at times. But on the same side of cultivating change, empathy will cultivate that space of true change. Because as a single mom of a teen who began homeschooling this year, because of a lot of different decisions that she was making at the end of 2017 and the beginning of 2018 and last school year, I had to do what was necessary and what was best for her. But also dealing with a teenager, that also means, as you guys know, that they got a lot of hormones and they got a lot of action going on. And the word says, be the child for it shall not die. And you can only do but so much beating. Also, this day and age, when you're dealing with a teen or when you're dealing with your children, they really want to know that you understand where they're coming from and how real it is to them and whatever it is that they feel like they're going through or struggling with, and to share in that, to identify with them. And because that in itself creates a safe place for you to be for them. Instead of this world, instead of this internet. And believe you when I tell you, I know it to be true. And when I began being more empathetic to my mini, change has been the game changer in our household. And I'm sure that your children, or maybe even your bayer spouse, or your clients, or those who you are in relationship with, would truly benefit from you being more empathetic. I really want you to think about how empathy truly breeds change. Number three, the power of choice. Free will is real. We all have free will. And when you're dealing with people and relationships, you have to understand that another person's choice has nothing to do with you. And I made a decision in 2017, coming into 2018, that love would be my default. And when you're dealing with people in relationships who have the potential to hurt you, who handle you in a way that is not the best, you have to allow your light to shine a lot brighter by responding in love, because your responding in love and not being petty can do more for you than stooping down to their level could ever do. And as I said recently on Instagram, you have to know that when you are a light, people will try you and will have motives and will be attracted to you because you are bright. But when they show themselves to be a bug, what are bugs attracted to? A light. They run into it, they get zapped because the light's so bright, because the person is love and they respond in love, and they continue to shine brighter. Romans 12:19 says, "Beloved, never avenge yourselves, but leave it to the wrath of God, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord." Your response of love, your being mindful and not taking on the choices that another made to hurt you, to disrespect you, betray you, handle you in a way that was shady. Let me tell you something. God can do more when you're not even around, or when you remove yourself from that situation, than you ever could. Don't be petty. Don't try to be conniving. Don't try to get revenge. I need you to respond in love, because the power of choice that you choose to be a light and to honor your free will to make a better choice than what they did will always be rewarded. So when I tell you free will is real and it goes both ways, I want you to honor your free will and be a light and let your default be love, and allow God to handle whomever he needs to handle on your behalf, because he can do a lot more. Okay? Number 4, ownership creates the shift. When I tell you I was in that dark place in 2017, I remember I was constantly blaming God instead of taking ownership. It was always God's fault. He ain't care. He ain't trying to be about my life. And all of the things that you know that we can say when we're going through it. But then I had to take a moment in 2018 and really think about my own choices. And when I began to think about my choices and own my choices, my whole life shifted. Because I've been in many conversations with friends and clients, and I could hear them blaming God. And I could hear people, well, if I would have just, did this, that's just God teaching me a lesson. Or like, if I wouldn't have just went ahead and, did this, then I would have had a better situation. And I would ask them like, well, didn't you, smash old boy? Like, that's why you're pregnant, and that's what happened. Like, you smash somebody. Like, when you have a sex, that's kind of how you get pregnant. Or when you spend your money and you don't save any money, that's kind of how you miss out on what you got going on financially. And they would be like, you know what? You right. My bad. Like, I do need to change. That's on me. That's on me. And they would take ownership. You know what? It's easy to blame instead of owning our ish. Yeah, it's when we own our ish that we take ownership of our lives and truly make a different decision. Truly shift our lives. Because whether it's your relationship, whether it's finances, whether it's your entrepreneur ambition, taking ownership is where it begins, because only you can control you. As I just said, you can't control nobody else because they have free will, and don't take ownership of that. But what we will do is take ownership of ourselves and our choices. Let's really, truly make changes in our lives. Because I've been working with my clients and I've been talking to them, and we've had oops and we've had, I didn't even know. But when I would point out certain decisions that they have made, it has made a difference in the way that they have treated their lives, their finances, their relationships, and the way that they absolutely love themselves. Own your ish, and I promise you, your life will shift. Number 5 is knowing births showing up. The more you know about you and what you're capable of, the less the start and stop of showing up is a reality in your life. Now, many times I have started and stopped. I have seen many people start and stop, and I have worked with many clients who start and stop, show up, don't show up, show up, don't show up. But when you have knowledge, facts, information, and awareness from gained experience about who we are, about who you are, instead of being so consumed with what whoever is on this internet, whoever is, a person that is parallel to what it is that you do in your industry, that we diminish who we are. And we can no longer do that, because when you look over your life and take inventory of all you've accomplished, overcome, and who you are and do what you're supposed to do, you are constantly showing up and allowing people to invest in what you serve. Know who you are and know whose you are, and know that what's in you is so necessary, and don't allow anything or anyone stop you from finishing the very thing that you know that you are supposed to be working on. Whatever that thing is, what is the last thing that you know that you were supposed to be working on? Do that. Finish that. And I promise you, you will show up on a consistent basis and more confident than you've ever been. Number 6, release for peace. Relationships of every kind were tried in 2018. You hear me? Like, every way that you could think about being tried have been tried in so many people's lives, and even in my own life. But what I know to be true is that you can't allow people to steal your peace if you are implementing boundaries. And as a strategist with a shepherd and exhorter's heart, the burdens of others and the desire to be there for others at the expense of myself has been a battle on and off until I completely released people appropriately according to my responsibility. And I need you to do the same. Release people appropriately according to your responsibility. Because Galatians 6:2 says, carry each other's burdens. Those are the burdens where the other party does not have the resources or the knowledge to truly take care of or handle the situation themselves in some capacity or another. That is when we are responsible for holding our people down. That's when we were responsible for carrying their burden. When we let me hold you, I got you, let me sow into this, let me be there for you, I'm gonna pray for you, I'm gonna hold your hand, I'm gonna walk this thing out with you, because it's too heavy. But then we got Galatians 6:5 that says each should carry their own load. Now, loads are the responsibilities of the other party that have to be worked out within themselves and would be enabling if you took it on. So that's like somebody's backpack. We all walk around with a backpack. A lot of times we think that if we take somebody's backpack on, we are helping them. No, but we're hurting them. And the more that we take on some other people's backpacks, things that they're supposed to be working through in and of themselves, things that they're our own responsibility, and the titles that they carry as a husband, wife, child, teacher, whatever their responsibility is, that's not for you to take on. You got your own backpack. And if you go around walking around taking on more people's backpacks, they become boulders in your life, crushing you. And that's not what you were designed to do. Give these people their backpacks back, allow them to carry their load, and release them and their household. Now, when they have a burden, do what you can, but don't allow someone else's burden become a burden to you because you didn't have what it is that you were trying to do to give. Release people and be free. Keep your peace, because there is a difference between carrying somebody's burdens and then allowing them to carry their own load. Establish and implement real boundaries in 2018 going into 2019. Okay? Number 7, God over good. Good is the enemy of God's best, and faith without compromise gets you the blessing. But I've seen how compromising on what you are in faith for can be a curse and cost you more than it's worth. That's right. Like, the very thing that you are believing for and you say yes to, or that action that you take, has now become a curse more than it is a blessing, because you compromised in your faith. Because you knew that when you were believing God for and believing for that thing, and you went towards saying yes to the opportunity or took action to do that thing, there was a standard or a specific thing that you compromised on. I've seen it too many times this year. And these blessings that people have said, oh my gosh, I did this, or oh my gosh, I got this opportunity, have now become curses instead of blessings, because they compromised. Because faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of what's not seen. But faith by definition is complete trust and confidence in the action and the yes that you're going to give towards what you're believing for. So let's not get distracted or let the internet rush us, costing us more than it's worth. Be sure to keep your standards and specifics with patience and attain God's best specific to you. Remember what it is that you're believing for and why. And remember the thing that God told you to do specifically to attain that thing or that opportunity or that blessing that you are believing for. And don't compromise. Let's finish this year strong and set the tone for 2019. Because you have what it takes. So focus on your wins. Be more empathetic for more change. Be mindful of your choices, because it's power in your choice. Because free will is real. Ownership creates the shift. Knowing births showing up. And release for peace and God over good. Because I want you to know that whatever it is that you are desiring for 2019 is a 2018 now thing. God is not a God relegated in time. He is a God of right now. So whatever it is that you need to do out of these 7 or all of the things, apply them today, and let's finish strong and set the tone for 2019 and years to come. Because what I have found is that self-love is the epitome of self-discipline. And those are the non-negotiable things that you do that are loving towards you and not at the expense of yourself. No longer are we doing things at the expense of ourselves, because that's not what God called us to do. And whatever giant that you have right now that you're facing, let's figure that out. Let's work on that. I now have the slaying sessions open right now for GiantWERK. Whatever you need to do as a mother or as a wife and build the thing that you are purposed to do, let's work on that in the WERK Vault, so that you can increase your love in your life and establish the bag with purpose without the expense of yourself. All in community with me and other women getting after it, so that you can pour into yourself and come out overflowing. And your health is your wealth. Don't spend another day giving an excuse about why you are not taking care of your body. Join BodyWERK and let's get this health together. There is no excuse for you not to be your best, do your best, and overflow spirit, soul, body, and brand now and for the rest of your days. Let me know what 2018 has taught you. Shout me out, tag me. You can get the Slay Sessions, WERK Vault, and BodyWERK all on my site, www.lesliedanielle.com. I can't wait to work with you guys. I can't wait to go in so that we can do what it is that we're called to do and overflow. Mwah.